Morning, guys. Hope you're all doing well. I went out this morning and opened my gates, and then I wanted to check this one bush. Some berries on there, and they're all gone. Deer ate what was there, and then I went to check another bush for another type of fruit that's starting to ripen. Yeah. So anyway, this morning when I opened the door, this is August, I opened the door and I went outside, t-shirt, these trousers, and it was actually cold outside. I was like, what the heck? So I went back in and I got this jacket shirt on, and went out, walked around a bit. Anyway, so I come back in and decided to go ahead and do a video or two here because, well, for a couple of reasons. Because about a week and a half ago, something like that, I got a couple of emails. One, one was about weapons and ammunition, and another one was an email from Greece. So I'll be talking about that here in a minute. Yeah. So you say, well, where's your tiger stripe bush hat, and where's your tiger stripe blouse, cami top, right? Well, thing is, guys, we're talking about Minuteman here, and Minuteman, your situation dictates what you're wearing. That's what it is. The situation you're in dictates what you're going to be wearing. So you got to be a ninja. You have to be invisible in a crowd of people. That's being a ninja. To where they don't know. Right? Those around you won't know if there's anything different about you. Right? See? So that's the thing. You know, this right here is camouflage, my property here. I can go outside, there's yellows all around in the vegetation right now. There's yellow, some kind of a subdued yellow striping in this tartan jacket shirt, right? So the thing is then you say, well, what about carrying any kind of ammunition on you? Well, put this on my belt. Got these pouches here, these London Bridge pouches. I've got these in khaki, also London Bridge. Anyway, you know, let's say you're carrying a shotgun, right? You got a shotgun. You're full of shotgun shells in there if you needed to, right? I mean, you have to look at this. You have to blend and change with the situation. That's what it is. You got to blend and change with the situation. So, you know, you're not gonna run around everywhere looking like, you know, you're going to battle. You're not. You got to be a ninja. You got to just look normal. And I've talked about this a few times before, but I think people forget. They have a short memory. And I've talked about many different things before, and I rehash things as I go along to keep that fresh in the back of your mind. You know, you're not always going to be running around looking like you're in war or going to war, right? You got to be invisible. Look back to Vietnam. People out there farming, half of them may have been, Viet Minh, right? Half of them. And the other half may have been just regular old farmers. But at certain times and conditions, they would go and get their stuff and do what they were going to do, right? So anyway, on the whiteboard here, I'm setting up for the rucksack and patrol pack videos. I'm setting that up. I'm getting that ready. And those will be coming up probably this coming weekend. Probably. What else? Let's get on to the emails a little bit, because the first email has to do with weapons and ammunition, right? Now, one thing that you have to understand is that when I talked about weapons and ammunition in those last videos, I'm talking about mostly my area. The vegetation here is extremely thick. You're not going to run anywhere in a straight line here. You're just not. Matter of fact, I've been thinking about getting the forestry saw out and cutting pathways that only I know about through the vegetation here, because I know the lay of the land. I've been thinking about getting the forestry saw out and doing that, cutting pathways to where nobody else will be able to see them. That unless they're like right on top of them, they won't know that they're there, right? And there are other things that you could do too that I'm not going to discuss on video, but yeah. So considering that, I would prefer a heavier round. I'm just giving you this hypothetical scenario, right? Because this guy was like, what about the 5.56? You seem to be leaning towards, the 7.62 by 51 rather than the 5.56 by 45, right? Those are NATO rounds. Now, in this scenario with this heavily vegetated woodland environment, that you got to understand, guys, this is not woods like you see on TV, and in some of these guys, they have these real pristine woodlands that they're freely just walking through anywhere they want amongst the trees. It ain't like that. It's briars and it's thick bushes and so on in between the trees. I mean, it is heavily vegetated. And you're not going, like I said, you're not going anywhere in a straight line. So yeah, I'm naturally going to say this is what I would go with in this situation. Now, you may be in a situation where, your 5.56 will be fine. Not a lot of stuff to deflect your rounds, if you did get into a conflict, and so on. And the thing is that, I mean, it's obviously your AR platform is going to be the most popular platform in this country. It just is, because it's the United States, right? So if you have that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You can make anything work under, in a tight spot. some people can't even afford to purchase some of these weapons platforms that some of these guys are showing online. It's just not going to happen. I mean, the economy is terrible, and people are just going to have to work with what they got until they can get something else. But I think that one of my points is, as far as rounds go and so on, if you can afford to cater to your situation a little bit, do so. If you can't, then you're just going to have to start out with whatever you got, whether that is a compound bow with a quiver of arrows, okay, to acquire level up, right, or a crossbow, or even a knife, okay. You just got to do what you got to do. When it comes down to it, you just got to do what you got to do. You know, shotguns, very viable. Some people will be questioning the shotgun thing. They'll say, well, what if all I've got is my turkey gun and bird shot? 50 yards or less, you're going to take them out of the fight. I guarantee you. You shoot somebody in the face with some bird shot, they're taken out of the fight. It's going to be a bad day. Okay. I'm talking about foreign or domestic forces coming against the people of your country. You got to defend yourself. You have a right to defend yourself. Okay? These are the scenarios that we are talking about in a Minuteman situation. You know, deeds will have to be done. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just a hard reality. It's a sad reality, but it's a hard reality. Deeds will have to be done. And it's either that or you get rounded up and put somewhere. Who knows where it's going to go. We all got to play this thing by ear. We know that the cackling woman has her agenda, right? We know that there are other agendas above hers. We know that. So let me talk about the other email I got was from a fellow from Greece who is in their defense forces over there, and very nice email. And one thing that he did chime in on is he really appreciated the Christian content in a lot of my videos. So contrary to the thumbs down I got on those two, Spiritual War 1 and 2, I got a thumbs down on each one of those. You know, contrary to that, there are a lot of people out there that appreciate the Christian input into a lot of my videos. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So thank you for emailing, both of you guys. But yeah, if you haven't watched all of the Minuteman videos, it's really to your advantage to watch them all, because you're gonna miss a lot of things. A lot of things that you may question in one video may have already been answered in another, and you don't know it because you didn't watch the video. Okay. So yeah, I'm working on the rucksack and the patrol pack. I got it getting ready to go up here on the whiteboard. So those will be coming up, guys. I think that we will go ahead and do one more video here. I think we'll do one more video. Just another chit chat video, and then yeah, I got a couple more things I could talk about. I'll see you in the next one.